Hello, I'm Greg Harrison with USDA Market News Service here in St. Joe, Missouri with your national feeder cattle summary this week. Well, compared to last week, lower prices continued in the feeder cattle market. Yearlings and calves trading mostly 5 to 10 lower. Receipts through the auctions this week, pretty much yearling cattle weighing over 700 pounds, and that's kind of where the best demand resides. Auction receipts this week were light as with very high temperatures and high humidity caused heat indexes to reach well over 100 degrees in many areas of the Midwest and the southern plains. Demand remains moderate to good. It's best on yearlings and best in the northern plains. Going on and in the northern plains in Phillips, South Dakota on Tuesday, they sold right at a little over 3,200 head of yearling cattle, with near 300 head of steers weighing 850 to 900 pounds, averaging 884 pounds. They sold with a weighted average price of $212.74. Then on Wednesday in Kearney, Nebraska, at their livestock auction, they sold 228 head of yearling steers, averaging 925 pounds, and they sold with a weighted average price of $215.48. Also this week, Superior's Video Royale is going on, offering right at near 137,000 head of good calves and yearlings on offer, and their final report will be out on Monday. Last week and into Monday of this week, live cattle and feeder cattle futures really took a pounding. Finally, they found a positive day on Tuesday with triple-digit gains and some modest gains going into Wednesday. But the upside potential right now on the feeder cattle and live cattle futures just really doesn't have a sense of urgency to rally to move much higher than they are right now. Last week, USDA came out on Friday with two reports, came out with their cattle on feed report and their July 1st cattle inventory report. All had lots of information, a lot of data on the cattle inventory report, but the effect on the markets was little effect on the markets. There were few surprises in any of the reports and very little bullish news to report. Pretty much everyone, the reports came out what everybody was expecting, and everybody pretty much in the cattle industry knows that we're expanding our herd rebuilding underway. Lower corn markets this week also failed to really rally feeder cattle futures all so much. If there is one positive, box beef prices this week finally hopefully have bottomed out or did find some footing this week. Closed Thursday up 72 cents on choice product, closing at $233.34. Retailers still seem to be a little lax in buying beef product and slow to stimulate the market, and also higher temperatures that we've been having are really not a positive for the grilling season. But competing meat prices are strikingly lower than they were last year, especially pork and chicken. Last summer, pork reached its high point, and that was with the PED virus. And then, but you're seeing pork prices a lot cheaper than they were a year ago, and also chicken prices. So you're seeing compared to beef prices, you got some pretty good competition there from the pork and chicken. Right now, attitudes in the commodity markets over the past week or so getting a little bit irritable, I guess you could say, especially grains, precious metals, energy markets, oil, stock market, all have been kind of getting rocked back on their heels and feeling some selling pressure in the marketplace at this time. So it kind of all affects and puts a little volatility in the markets. Looking at the corn crop conditions this week, corn is rated at 70% good to excellent. That's up 1% over last week at 69%, and 78% of the corn is in the silking stage. Corn has moved a little lower this week on favorable weather over the next week or so in the forecast. Looking at some regional weighted averages in the south central regions, 5 to 600 pound steers running about $6 lower than last week at $248.85. 600-700 pounds, about $5 lower at $229.72. 7 to 800 pounds running about $4 lower at $214.52. 8 to 900 pounds running also about $4 lower at $203.62. In the north central regions, 8 to 900 pound steers running about $1 higher, and that's probably mostly due to the sales in South Dakota and Nebraska. In southeast regions, steers weighing 4 to 500 pounds running $3 lower at $251.14, and 5 to 600 pounds running about $7 lower at $232.57. That's your markets for this week. Be back with you next week. Have a good week. Thanks for listening.